We're going to segue into our first conversation, and we are looking at what MLY Foundation is doing in changing the stories of vulnerable persons actually displaced by insurgency and other forms of disaster. And they'll be telling us their story and how much they have been able to add value to the lives of these persons as part of effort to rehabilitate and reposition at-risk communities affected by activities of the insurgents. MLY UNICEF Foundation, a non-governmental organization, is transforming the lives of young girls through education, social support, and empowerment. The foundation's thematic areas are providing access to formal education through scholarship awards, trauma counseling to restore the mental health of beneficiaries who were victims of insurgency, mentorship, as well as leadership training and skill acquisition in the areas of ICT and agricultural technology. Lovely, you would say. Mm-hmm. And so let's get an insight into what they're actually doing. They say you hear it best from the mouth of from the horse's mouth. So we have them in the studio, and we have two of them in the studio. We are joined by Asmau Doreen. Doreen. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay. She's the program director, Mariam Ladi, UNICEF Foundation, and Emmanuel Agundia, who is the senior outreach manager for Mariam Ladi, UNICEF Foundation. And so together, they'll be sharing their success stories and what they are doing in improving the lives and quality of these girls. Thank you so very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
And
you're welcome to the program.
First off, well done, great job you're doing.
Thank you.
And very little publicity in terms of your activity, because someone will say, yeah, okay, they're doing a good job, but just hearing about them for the first time. So give us a sense of what gave birth to this particular initiative. I believe something must have, inspired this particular move. Give us a sense of how this was better in the first place. Let me have you, Asma, we'll begin.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your audience this morning. The Mariam Ladi UNICEF Foundation was really born after an icon passed, who was called Mariam Ladi Yunusa. Mm-hmm. She's well known by the state. She used to be the Commissioner of Works and Housing, Adamawa State, around the 1999. And prior to that, she was in fact the principal of Federal Government Girls College, Yola. And she had a passion for adolescent girls and seeing them improve their potential, mentoring and coaching them, and making them leaders. Giving them and impacting on them the importance of leadership. So a lot of her alumni are actually leaders in their various capacities now, in their various walks of life. She retired as the senior director in the United Nations Habitat Program and passed in July 2019. At the time, the family decided to give birth to this foundation to honor her legacy and also to support our Northeast girls. She was from Gulak, Madagali, local government, and she gave back a lot in her lifetime, and we thought the best way to do this is to go back and start from these communities and to empower our girls and to say that you can be something, you can be leaders. We all know that these communities have been ravaged by insurgencies in the last 2 decades, and we want to bring back the potential of these girls. We want to remove the fright. We want to heal them from trauma and to say, you know what, you can come back and go back to school and you can make something of your lives, and beyond that you can even take up leadership in the community and beyond. We do this through a 3-approach program. And
he's going to speak about the program because that's why he's seated next to us. But tell us, in terms of its impact, how much value has this program added to the life of this, particularly because you're being specific, your target population is girls, isn't it?
Yes.
Speak to us about its impact. How much value have you been able to add to the lives of these girls?
Sure. So in our program activities, which have spanned, so far we've been working in the north, in Adamawa North. We have plans to expand throughout the state. But so far in the communities we've been in across Michika and Madagali, we've noticed a drastic change in girls who were once frightened and terrorized because a lot of them are IDPs. They fled from various parts of the state into these particular communities we work in. And we've noticed that they've slowly been more keen to learn.
Okay.
With our scholarship programs, we've supported some back into school. They have been keen. We've impacted that value of education on them. And in our good agricultural practice program, we've seen them grow more food and food they've been able to sell, and taking more interest in agriculture and subsistence farming and learning more on the agro-tech side of things. For information technology, we've seen girls going from not even knowing how to put on a computer to sending emails and corresponding with other girls from other schools across the world, which is part of the programs we do, and seeing them undertake Microsoft Word packages. And then on the leadership side of things, we've seen them now keen to talk to other girls and say, look, come and follow me and join me in learning new things. They are keen to find out if there's anybody who is suppressed at home or going through something. They whistle blow and tell our program. So we've seen transformation in these girls on a small scale for now, with the few beneficiaries we started with. But what we have is a cascading program where we can pick up about 20 or 30 girls and make them community leaders to impact other girls. So it's development from within.
So train the trainer is going to be,
train the trainer
into what you're actually doing.
Yes.
All right. I would have initially loved you to react to these, but let me get to Emmanuel being
he is the senior
outreach manager. Let me just start with you on this, Ryder. Why is the beam so much concentrated on a girl child, owing to the fact that, the consequences of ravaged community really depict that not just the girl child have suffered that. Of course, we've seen where the young boys, of course, who have been traumatized, as a result of the ravaging effect and impact of the insurgency, particularly in the northern part of Adamawa.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. Actually, the reason that we focus on the girls' child education in these particular areas, because most of the girls around those areas, they doesn't have a mentor, people that can able to give them more orientation on how they will go about their lives. And if you observe, most of the girls in these communities, they only get source of income from men, and men take advantage of them. Some of them, they get them pregnant, and at the end of time, they dump them there, putting them into a lot of different cases. But the men, we felt they can able to go to the farm their hustle on their own. They can go out there, do a good heavy work for them to help themselves. But for the women, hardly to see those kind of things happening in most of those.
As Mau earlier talked about, the passion we've seen the girls, put into fore in terms of understanding, the operational basis of computers and so on and so forth, But that is not to say there isn't a little bit of fear into the fact that we've seen where massive abduction of the girl child, particularly with the experience we had in Chibok and the one in Yobe, Dapchi, and so on and so forth. How has the program been able to disabuse the minds of parents, first of all, because it takes the agreement of the parent to send their watch to school, and also as a young girl accepting that into the subconscious mind that education is indeed the way to go.
Yeah, most of the girls here from the parents are so happy with this particular program that we're doing, and just as my boss said here earlier, some of these girls, they are so happy with the level that they are right now, because some of them, just earlier as she said, they cannot operate computers, and some of them they doesn't even have knowledge of that computer thing. But right now they are even so happy because they see they can able to operate that computer, and at the same time they can able to go to farm, get some farm stuff for themselves, and they sell to help themselves, and they help their parents as well. So the parents now are seeing the impact of this particular program in the life of their children. For them, as the children can able to pay one or two of expenses in the house.
So what you do is trickling down. I can see Asma's hand is up, and she wants to say something. Let me give you a few seconds to say something about that. But turn down it a little bit. Just keep it there. Keep it there. We'll leave you to see this short clip that was put together by MLY Foundation, and in actually, telling us their story and how it's been for them. We'll come back, and Asma is going to respond, further to what we have, on discussion today.
The MLY Yunusa Foundation is coined after MLY Yunusa, who was a devout Christian, a versatile town planner, a patriot for Nigeria, a talented development professional, a mother, a grandmother, and a lover of mankind. She impacted lives that came across her way. We are a foundation backed by a loving family of MLY and an amazing team that are passionate about development and about the girl child. We work particularly in the Northeast to restore girls that have been ravaged by insurgencies that have happened in this area. We help them to achieve their full potential and to come back into confidence and to be community leaders in their various communities and pull other girls up.
Good morning, class. We are going to be discussing on some major crops that we used to cultivate in this area. Now we are going to be talking about maize, cowpea. We are going to talk about groundnuts. We are going to talk about okra, tomatoes, and then we'll do general discussion on IPM. Who can tell me where maize originated from? Yes, you.
Latin America.
Good. Clap for her.
At the moment, our program is centered around a 3-year program which will run 3 various projects every July. And these programs are centered around the key things that we found which will impact community girls the most. The first
You're still watching SAFIYA Breakfast Show. That's a short clip of how the foundation, has come to change the story of, vulnerable girls affected by the insurgency in the northern part of Adamawa State. And the foundation is hoping to expand or go beyond its border, that is the northern part of Adamawa State, to reach out to other vulnerable girls across Adamawa State. So it's just a starting point, and they are hoping to grow beyond that. We have in the studio Asmawa as well as Emmanuel, and both of them are from the MLY Yunusa Foundation, giving a sense of what they are doing. Asmawa, before we took that particular short clip, interesting by the way, and I believe this success story will transcend beyond where it is right now to a greater one. You wanted chipping in on what Emmanuel was actually saying, because the question was bordered around why the girl tried,
yes.
And he responded with some certain positives to it. Let's have you come into the particular conversation. What is it that you want to add in on?
Why the girl child? Because she has been at the front receiving end of insurgency, being the girl who has been in school. So what I particularly also wanted to add is that safeguarding is at the heart of what we do. As the MLY Yunusa Foundation. We would never put a girl at risk because she wanted to learn. We understand the climate, and we only work in resettled areas.
Resettled areas.
Resettled areas where they has achieved a good degree of peace and freedom from insurgency. So we would never go into areas where there's still conflict to start up a program.
So basically, you go to areas where the conflict has been diffused already, where the fear is kind of minimal, and you then throw in your support and capture in these girls, because you provide them with the right psychosocial support for them to get back on their feet and continue what you're doing.
Go through from the other.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we provide trauma counseling.
You do that? Oh, yes. That's interesting. So that will lead us to have you, Emmanuel, speak about the different approaches you deploy in terms of your program strategies in affecting the lives of these girls and turning them for good. Because if you educate the girl, you educate the nation. Give us an insight into how you go about these programs, in bettering the lives of these girls.
Okay, we go to those settled communities, just like the way she been mentioned. We get to select those, and we are strictly on orphanage. That's the people that we normally goes with.
Okay.
And at the same time, those orphanage, most of them, if you ask them one or two questions about their lives, they will tell you some of them lost their parents, lost their mom or their dad due to the insecurity, due to the program
insurgency.
Yes, that happens in Yola some years back. So through that, we decide to make them feel that cannot stop you from achieving what you want to achieve, because the Mariam Ladi Yunusa Foundation, the founder by herself, comes from this community, and she grows up from this community to work with United Nations as well. So we make them feel that you too can able to do and achieve more than what she has achieved in her life. So we are like just as a mentor to them again, to also guide them how they can able to be themselves, to focus for them to achieve something better than what mommy has achieved.
Okay, let me get your take, Asmao. I know that there are quite a number of foundations who have come with policies and prospect, to building the society. But what does the Mariam Yunusa Foundation do in terms of skill acquisition, entrepreneurial development for the girl child, for sustainability?
Sure. Yes, sustainability is at the heart of what we do, because we don't believe so much in alms giving alone or giving them provisions and things like that. That can only go so far. So yes, the skills acquisition and the sustainability of this skills acquisition is central to the program. And we picked agriculture because already a lot of the girls are already on the farms. This is what they do after school. They support the host communities with farming.
Just help them polish their skills.
So what we are doing is infusing agrotech into this and helping them to farm better, grow crops faster, and to be able to sell enough of this and to be able to feed themselves and the host family as well. And through this, we're hoping that they will pick up this interest even further and wanting to learn at a more advanced level, maybe at the tertiary level of things.
I am concerned now, but I know Emmanuel will chuckle a little bit. Mariam Yunusa, of course, being the former, God bless her soul, the former principal of Federal Government Girls College, and she's so much concerned with the girl child.
Yes.
But is there a plan anytime soon to co-op, the boy child into the program? Emmanuel,
I know she would, Asma would tell you it's one step at a time.
One step at a time.
But Emmanuel, I don't know. Is it in the pipeline? Because we still have a lot of young men out there who may have been vagabond as a result of these consequences of
On that part, I won't say much, but maybe in time being, we'll get to consider that.
So it's part of your futuristic.
For now,
it's part of your futuristic.
To partnerships with boy child organizations and to bettering one another in that way. But we feel it's important for every organization to have a niche and to operate within that niche. So for now, our focus is the girl.
Now you talked about partnership. It came up loosely during that particular, brief that you just gave.
Sure.
Speak to me about the kind of partnership that you enjoy, because we have different non-governmental organizations also who are doing close to similar project as what your foundation is doing. Do you have any partnership with any of these agencies or organizations towards achieving the same goal?
Yes. So our project work is fairly new. We've been on the field now for about a year plus. Though the foundation has existed for the past 3 years, but we started at home. We started small, tasking ourselves, even as a family, to start whatever we can do on however little we can do. As we moved forward, we started to go to philanthropists, people that were interested in the girl child, are interested in rehabilitating them from insurgency. So we have personalities that have tapped into the program. We have a board of directors. Now, in terms of organizational partnership, we want to now begin to welcome all of this. We want to welcome other NGOs working in the field in this particular thematic area. We welcome United Nations agencies. We welcome any international development agencies or anybody that has this agenda also at hand. Yes, we would like to grow that.
Been signaled to wrap it up, but to respond to this one quick question, what do you have to leverage on? Because you talked about expansion and you hope to go beyond the northern part of Adamawa State. What do you have to leverage on in terms of expansion?
What do we have to leverage on?
Yeah.
What we have to leverage on is our amazing cascading program. It's our project strategy.
Okay.
That is what we have to leverage on, because you see, for us, the growth is from within. We are galvanizing change for the people, by the people themselves. We want them to learn how to make their own livelihoods and not always depend on donors and subsistency or that kind of support, so that when there's nothing, they can grow crops themselves, they can learn ICT, they can do various things to help themselves and their communities. So our key leverage is the sustainability aspect of our program.
Impressive.
Yes.
Well, Emmanuel, Asma, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
We wish you all the very best in what you're doing in changing the narratives, the stories of vulnerable girls affected by the insurgency. It's a very good thing. You want to say something?
Yes, I want to also raise on the windowsill, which is, again, you asked what was our program strategy.
Can I do something?
Is really this book, which was the autobiography of Mariam Ladi Yunusa herself.
All right.
And we use it as a manual for the girls, because she started from local government as a very simple village girl and moved to the United Nations at a very high level, where she was, we can say, ruling with presidents. This is what we use to mentor and empower our girls.
Impressive. And so we'd encourage for people, to connect with these. And this is an autobiography. I would wish you have a copy of these and take a look at it. It's a beautiful job that you're doing and the foundation is doing generally, and we want to commend you. We hope we have lots of other persons who will key into such project. Thank you so very much. Asmao, thank you very much, Emmanuel. And let me not say Asmao is the daughter of Mariam.
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw close to the resemblance.
Yes.
Striking resemblance there, you can say.
Okay. You're following the footsteps of mommy. Well done.
you.
And I hope you guys
Keep the legacy.
To keep the legacy. All right. Thank you so very much, and wishing you all the very best.
Thank
you.
Okay.
Having the show
All right.
today.
Safia will be right back after the short timeout.
My name is Atiku Abubakar. The year 2023 is a defining moment